Okay, debts. You know that all the liabilities, all the debts will actually be used in TDS, in total debt service ratio. So you can see right on the app, right in the top right, there is a box. It shows you the GDS and the TDS. Right now I have no debts. So I'm going to be adding a lot of these debts, and I will explain to you what each does. The current debts that we support are credit cards. So let's add a credit card. I simply clicked on this button here to add a new credit card. Add a credit card, and let's say I'm going to call this a Visa. It's good to add names because that way we can actually refer to it. $2,000, and my limit is 20. So that's my current balance, and that's my credit limit. So let's see what happens. A Visa, the minimum payment for a Visa is 3% in almost all provinces. In some provinces, actually more, 4 or 5%. But you can see quickly here that we just added. Let's add a new credit card. Let's add a MasterCard. MasterCard, and our current balance is 5,000, and our credit limit is 50. Okay, we're getting closer to our TDS max, which we set up to be 44%. You can customize that. Let's go to the next, a line of credit. Okay, line of credit is next. Let's call it LOC just to be, current balance is 30,000. Ooh, and our credit limit is 50,000. Now we've hit our max TDS, which you can see right here is 44, and now our purchase price decreases because we've reached our max, and anything else we add on top of it will only decrease our maximum loan, therefore our maximum purchase price. So let's add a personal loan, and I want to show you something about personal loan here. Let's call it personal, and the balance is 50,000. Now, you know, if the balance is greater than 50,000, we can no longer use that 3% minimum payment. We will have to use the BOC rate and amortize at 25 years. You can actually see the payments right here. If you want to customize the BOC rate, just go to qualification area here and customize the BOC rate. You don't have to, because we'll do it automatically for you anyways every time it changes. So you don't really have to worry about it. But in case you are planning for the future, let's say something gets announced, BOC rate is going to increase, and you want to see what happens, you can go there and change it. Let's add a new item, car loan. Let's actually add a lease. And this is pretty slick here. I'm going to use BMW as an example here. Now, if this is a lease, you can just turn the switch on and it will remove the balance. Nobody really knows what the balance of the lease is. So it doesn't really matter either. It's the payments. So we're going to use 500, and this is the cool part, bi-weekly. Okay, done. So that's our car payment. You can see that our purchase price keeps tumbling down with more debts. Student loan, add a new debt. Let's do student loan. Okay, let's call this OSAP. That was my student loan at some point in time. And if it's in repayment, turn the switch on. Otherwise, we need to know what the balance is, and usually the app will use 1% of that payment. So have you started paying? Yes. Balance is, let's say, 10,000, and I'm paying 150 monthly. Sure. Last but not least, spousal/child support. We actually batched this one into one. We were considering of separating it, but it kind of works the same, so we just use the same one. So let's say I have a daughter, and I'm sending her $1,200 a monthly. Okay, so this is all the debt payments, and let's say the client completes all that information, sends you this information. You can actually import that scenario into yours, and you can do some adjustments. One of the things that's really cool is to simulate debt as paid. So there's actually two ways people can pay off debts. You can use that fund to pay off the debt, remove the payment, and see what you would qualify without that. The other way to do that is magically pay off the debt, which I will show you how to do that as well. So let's start paying off some debts. So this one, I will just tap on the options menu here and simulate this debt as paid. It's going to give me two options. Do you want to deduct from your funds? We know we have $300,000. Do we want to deduct that and pay off this debt? And yes, of course we do, because we don't have any other money. And you can actually see this thing increase. So this is amazing, because I can show a client very quickly that if I were to pay off this $500 credit card, it's going to go from $464 to $480. Woo! And the available funds is actually now $293. 5,000, the first 2,000 and the first 5,000. So technically, paying off debt works out amazing instead of having more down payment, right? So if I were to pay off this line of credit, I'm at 480 right now. If I'm at 571, holy smokes, this is crazy. So you mean if I can pay off this $30,000 line of credit with my savings and put less towards down payment, I actually can get approved for more and have no debts. Interesting. Okay, let's do another one here. Simulate as debt, deduct from your funds. Woohoo! Lease, I'm not going to touch because it's a lease. But what about my student loan? Sure, done. Now I can create a report out of this very quickly, I hope. Yes, there we go. So we got the full report here, and it's going to show some of the items that were assumed to be paid off. It actually looks better on desktop. So let's move it to desktop. I'm going to share it to my screen here. Okay. So down here, it shows all the debts, and we're going to assume it's paid off. So you can send this to a client very quickly and have them use it or look at it and see, oh, with that, even though I can pay off my debts, I can get approved for more.